After a very enlightening interview with Bundara Engineering CMD, now we are going to have this panel discussion on a topic which is very close to my heart: financial inclusion and innovation for industries. As you know, the MSMEs form the backbone of the country, both in terms of contribution to the GDP, which is nearly 30% of the GDP comes from the MSMEs, and almost like there are 11 crore jobs which are contributed by the MSMEs. However, there are always issues with respect to the MSME growth, one of the main issue being the finance. Access to finance which is timely, which is flexible and custom-made, and which is flexible enough to meet different sectors of the industry is always a challenge. So we have with us today eminent panelists which are from distinguished banks and financial institutions. So we are going to discuss this topic with them. So we want to make this panel discussion a little more interactive for the audience as well. So we'll have some Q&A session at the end of the panel. So my name is K. Srinivas. I am representing FTCCA, Federation of Telangana Chambers, as co-chair of Energy Committee. I'm also CEO of a solar energy company called Solarable Energy LLP. So now let me introduce the panelists to you. So we have with us Mr. Sanak Das, AGM SIDBI. SIDBI is an institution that has championed particularly the MSMEs. The name itself is Small Industrial Development Bank of India. For over 30 years, SIDBI has been contributing to MSME growth. He brings deep expertise in financial schemes across the priority sectors like pharma, defense, EVs, and clean energy. And we have with us Mr. Jogarao Kili, and he is an AGM with Union Bank of India, MSME loan point heading at Koti. He heads the MSME loan point and he is into MSME credit assessment, risk handling, and scheme delivery across Telangana. And we have with us Mr. Rohit Raj from Kotak Mahindra Bank as a branch manager, senior branch manager. Kotak Mahindra is a multi-product with a special focus on SMEs. We are going to discuss about Kotak's special products for the MSMEs. And Dr. Ramesh Naidu is a regional business manager for retail and trade and forex with a small AU small finance branch. So he's got 25 years experience in India and abroad. Now leads the retail trade and forex across South India. He holds a doctorate in banking and specialist in MSME trade promotions. So without much ado, now we'll just dwell into the subject about MSME, the innovative finances for MSMEs. I request SIDBI, Mr. Jogarao Kiligaru, and to give a brief introduction about SIDBI and what they have to offer for MSMEs.
Good afternoon all. SIDBI is a principal financial institution for the promotional and development of MSMEs in India, formed under the Act of Parliament and it's operating since more than 3 decades. So apart from being a financer for the MSMEs development, we also involved in direct lending throughout India. Having presence at the major centers, like in Telangana, we are in Hyderabad having 2 branches. Also in Andhra Pradesh, and more of the branches has been opened in Andhra Pradesh. As far as SIDBI's financial product is concerned, for pharma, so we have we are the principal agency for the PLI scheme of the pharma sectors. As you know that government have launched a 500 crore pharma PLI scheme, out of which there are 280 crores, some 178 crore for the innovations on the pharma. That fund has been managed by SIDBI for the development of the pharma sector as a whole in India. So that being managed by SIDBI. Apart from that, pharma sector, we have dedicated schemes like some more scheme is there and Arogya scheme is there. What is dedicated to pharma, that is more of driven and focused towards the like Telangana pharma sectors and like Himachal Pradesh and Uttar Pradesh pharma sectors in particular. So Telangana being a vibrant sector, having the vibrant sector in pharma sectors, so this has been precisely devised the scheme to take care of the intricacies and needs of the pharma sector, so that they won't any face problems. See, in pharma sector, what happens? Majority of these things are been customized machinery and customized setup is there. So accordingly, though it will banks generally find it difficult to get a good value for their as a asset coverage for say. So that thing has been taken care by relaxation of some norms and having a flexible norms and flexible norms for the finance sector. As for R&D concern also, SIDBI having the more scheme is there. So that takes care of the R&D aspect of the pharma sectors. So as far as defense sector is also concerned, SIDBI is more focused, the government of India's focus for Make in India scheme for defense. The more of the schemes has been devised on order-based financing for the defense sectors. So what happens in defense sector, there are a lot many prototypes being developed. So that prototype has to be passed, but in general what happens, the working capital banker generally goes by their balance sheet and a minimalistic approach or a logical approach for the projections also. But it is seen that what happens in the course of time, that at some point of time their product got passed and they got a bulk order as of not like 50 crores, 60 crores, like a bulk order they have been issued. So to address that order, they don't have immediate funds requirement, they don't have, because the working banker has their own limitations. To address that, SIDBI has come up with a cash defense scheme which doesn't get a limit, only oriented towards sales based working capital based on the projected sales. We found that it will be quite easier and quite logical to extend the finance based on their order book position. So we do go ahead with that, and with a flexible aligned time frame for repayment, like some order has like 1.5 years, 2 years or 3 years of prepayment cycle. So that product has that much of beauty is that it goes with that alignment for the payment cycle also. So we don't insist for the monthly payment or half yearly payment. So that bullet payment will be devised in that product. That is the best part of the cash defense scheme. So, and apart from that also, we have multiple products for machinery financing and electronic vehicle financing. Not only EV vehicle financing, we also support the EV infrastructure development as a whole, like charging stations, development of the infrastructure. Whosoever is in the tier 2 vendors, tier 3 vendors, those are involved in the EV infrastructure development. We also do funding for that. So this is the major highlights of the fundings in the SIDBI as far as pharma sector and defense sector and EV sector is concerned.
Thank you, Mrs. Das. And now I request Mr. Joga Rao to brief about a little brief about his organization, and then we'll come back with some specific questions to you.
So good afternoon everybody, myself Joga Rao Killi. I am handling this MSME portfolio for this Koti region, where we will finance all MSME customers, including from Mudra loan to whatever, even all MSME loans for establishment of the unit, purchase of the machinery, establishment of the unit, even working capital finance also. Because what SIDBI is particularly finance for term loan, where we are term loan both as well as working capital finance also we are extending. As like all other public sector banks, we are mostly concentrating in our Hyderabad zone is Telangana particularly. Pharma sector is the main, and even some of the aeronautic and defense systems also we have finance. And we are financing almost all type of businesses, like establishment of units wherever it is required for small and medium enterprises, and even working capital also. The process flow is like that. The branches, I am handling almost 60 branches, around 18,800 crores of business is there with me. And we are financing the MSMEs very aggressively, and we are supporting the people to make it understanding that what is the schemes available by the government. Even CGTMSA also we are properly educating, and even hybrid model of CGTMA also we are giving to the people, customers who are coming, they are not having any land for giving collateral security, we are also helping them. And the process flow is slow, is now it's earlier it is slow, but it is now most of the people they have understood, and even MSMEs also they are very well known about their CIBIL, even what are the issues with their CIBIL. They are very much prompt in that payment of their dues now, and they are coming forward to take the finance from the banks. Each and everybody knows that one. Each and every product what is giving by the banks, even government announced by the government, and they are coming towards us, and they are asking whenever they are coming with some specific request, we are hand holding them, we are guiding them properly, and we are giving an opportunity to get the finance from the banks. That is the actually what we are doing actually particularly, and we are helping the MSMEs to get the finance from the bank, and that also hassle-free finance from the government banks. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Das. Now I request Mr. Naidu to tell about AU Small Finance Branch. The name itself is very interesting. It indicates it's specifically focused on small companies. Tell us a brief about how it is different from other banks, and what exactly they have done in the last since they have started this new bank.
Good afternoon, everyone. AU Small Finance Bank has started in 2017 by a famous gold medalist chartered accountant, Mr. Sanjay Agrawal. It started its roots from Jaipur, and today, in 8 years journey, we are even called a small finance bank with a big balance sheet, touching more of the better banks. We are a bigger balance sheet in terms of 1,53,000 crores in 8 years. We have around 945 branches all across the country, and we have around 2,560 touch points in the country today. So we have grown very big, and RBI has also asked us to take up a universal license, which we have already filed. We should be a AU bank shortly, anytime. My balance sheet is big. My assets are around 1,10,000 crores today, and my net NPA is 0.59, which I was telling sir a little bit before I came here. See, major funding, if you look at AU Small Finance Bank, yes, we cater more of our loans to MSME sectors, because my major funding, 75% of my funding is below 50 lakhs. So my NPA is intact, and we are actually the correct market where we go. Today, if you look into the rural markets or the semi-urban markets, if I just take Andhra Pradesh and Telangana itself, I have more than 150 touch points where we fund people. In fact, AU Bank in 2023 December, we got a bank called FinCare. We have bought this bank in 2023 December, because this is one bank which was more into the micro segment banking, into the microfinance. So to expand this business to MSMEs to a greater extent, today we fund from 15,000 to 50 lakh rupees. We have something called secured, unsecured, we have fund-based, non-fund-based. And today, AU Bank, especially on this segment, we did a pilot around 6 to 8 months back in the western part of the country, especially Jaipur, Gujarat, Rajasthan, where a CSR by AU Foundation, we promote something called AU Udyogini for women entrepreneurs. We give them the seed capital, we give them the entire technical expertise and the business they would like to do. We understand the process, we give them the support back to back, so that they entirely, till the takeoff, we are there with them, and that's how we have been promoting MSME irrespective of the segment they are. Today we are into solar, we are into n number of things which today the number of stalls that we see here, we have been supporting them. We have been educating people with less collateral, certain no collateral, with other digital innovation technology that we have. We've been promoting from the bank side, and bank is very bullish because this is one segment and this is one area which is really contributing to the GDP of the country. Any country you say, not only India but any country, MSME has been the core value to the GDP of any economy today. So that's in brief. At AU Bank, we will soon be AU Bank instead of AU Small Finance Bank. But yes, we have been supporting MSME across segments, across verticals. We are there to help. In fact, my bank is more focused on women entrepreneurs. They have a special category, a special segment which encourages women fertility also. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Naidu. Rohit, so do you now? He's representing Kotak Mahindra Bank, another private bank here.
Yeah, hi all. So basically, before I want to start, I just wanted to add few points where other panel members have added and spoken about.
Just keep close to this.
Like as rightly mentioned by other panel members, like one thing, MSME contributes to towards 30% of GDP growth, and another point which I wanted to highlight it across is like close to 45 to 46% of contribution towards manufacturing and exports is being contributed by the MSME sector. So this is something which I wanted to highlight and add it to the other panel member discussion. Now coming back to the Kotak, we started as a wealth management company in 1980s around. Then that Kotak Mahindra got merged into NBFC, and we started funding vehicle loans under KMPL. So from there, we got merged with ING Vaishya around 2016 or so, where we had huge presence in terms of North India and South India. So at this point of time, we have got close to 1,800 branches altogether with 3,000 plus ATMs. So majorly we have got a presence in North India, and that is where we have our market share has been together. Now, if I have to talk about MSME, so out of 4.5 lakh crore of asset that we have, advances that we have lended at the bank level, close to 18% of market share is pertaining to MSME. So as a bank, we see lot of scope in terms of lending MSME, and that is how we wanted to be part of any discussion that we wanted to have with regards to MSME. Thank you.
Thank you, Rohit. Now I want to ask a common question to all of you is that we have a lot of startups here. This IITEX has one of the main renewable energies, one sector, and startups is another sector. I see a lot of youngsters out here. One question comes to mind is that an established company with a 3-year, 4-year vintage has some turnover to show, profit to show, whereas a startup, when it starts, they come with an idea. What kind of schemes do you have to fund startups without collateral? So any one of you could take the lead and mention what kind of things that how you promote them and what is the scheme details broadly like?
So for startups, SIDBI being the principal institution for financing the MSMEs, we have one arm of called SIDBI Venture Capital Limited. So that looks into the new ideas and startups. Apart from that, also SIDBI has its green finance scheme is there, which takes care of the big investment proposals up to 20 CR or more than that also on project specific, what kind of project that is. So new innovation ideas also we take into on board. So it is not required that you should have an existing setup. We can also take up the based on this experience.
What is the
and
limit
potential.
that you finance for a startup? You have anything like a 10 crores, 1 crore, any limit you have?
No, it doesn't have such kind of limit is there. So it all depends on the what kind of investment and what kind of project is there. That depends on project to project, case to case basis, that is being decided. There is no specific limit on something like that for startup.
Okay, so that's very good to hear.
Yeah.
And I think you could also suggest from your banks what kind of a schemes you have for startups.
Sir, as a startup, it's a new area where actually most of the banks are having less data regarding that one. Even for financing any startup, we should see some of the ratings from the agencies where we have to get, and afterwards we are proceeding for that one, starting up that this one after minimum qualified rating what it is coming. Startup is like that a project funding only, where the requirement of that particular project what it is there, based on the margins we will take up and we are funding that one, sir. It's nothing separate in that particular area, but some of the qualifications what we have to see, then based on that one we will see and we will go ahead for that finance.
Okay, on a case to case basis, you don't have a specific. Naidu garu.
Sir, in terms of the startups, basically the main one of the key factors where they don't fall in is collaterals while doing this business. We at ADU Bank has come with certain banking framework where we work on their individual bank statements. If they've already been into business for some time, we look at the GST returns. We look at their digital platform of business on UPI in terms of POS that the transactions they do, and we try to create a revenue stream to understand and so that we can give a cash credit basis that. So we come with a different framework. Yes, there have been little challenges because startups they have low finance literacy in terms documentation maybe more if they go for a loan sometime. The interest rates they get it from outside at a higher rate. These are a few challenges. So to cut down that, the bank has formulated certain other frameworks where we can help them with limited documents, with faster speed processing, paperless applications kind of thing. So we've been doing that, and it is shown some success stories in the country to us.
So you're helping in terms of cutting down the paperwork and timeline to finance.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But certainly you'll require some level of GST returns to support that. Without GST returns, will you be able to finance anything?
Yes, sir. GST returns, their sales and purchases, their business activity, the industry line can give you an overall picture to understand his business and to what extent you can support them to start and how we expand with them. It's not a small story for us lending today, but as I told you, we have experimented with being in line with them for some time, understanding the process, supporting them, giving them a technical know-how, and see till they take off, so that my line of business is also safe. I get my payments on time and other things. Yeah.
Thank you. Now, Kotak.
So basically, Kotak was one of the first private bank to get associated with GEM Sahayan. So wherein what will happen, like any user can register there as a supplier. Whenever he wanted to get a funding against that invoice, so banker like Kotak as a financer will discount that particular invoice and fund it across. So as and when seller or a supplier is getting a fund from his client, so in turn Kotak Bank will recollect the same. So this is something which is very unique at Kotak, and Kotak was a first private bank to get associated with GEM Sahayan portal. And other than that, we are also one of the registered user in terms of a trade. So like wherever our client is part of the trade user or a portal, so he finds lot of clients who will be in the same line of business. So let's say suppose one of my client, he wanted to purchase a mobile in bulk, so he will find a buyer in a similar way. So as and when my customer who will upload the invoice on that side, my Kotak Mahindra will discount it across and fund it as and when his buyer is getting a funds within 45 days or 60 days or so, bank will be in a position to recollect it across.
Thank you. I think two things is mentioned is that one is the MSMEs registered on GEM portal, they get an access to finance from Kotak. Second is TREDS, TREDS, bill discounting.
Correct.
They submit a bill and take the payment from you with a discount.
Exactly.
And
Correct.
you collect from the customer.
Exactly. We'll have a billing cycle of 45 days to 60 days. That can go up to 120 days.
Okay.
So as and when we are getting a funds from a buyer, that is how we collect it from there.
That's nice. So before we go to the next round of questions, I would like to ask the audience if they have any specific questions to ask the panelists, the banks here. Sure.
This question is for SIDBI.
Could you just give a brief introduction about yourself and ask the question, sir?
Yeah. I am Raja Ram Karan Reddy. I am an entrepreneur since last 15 years. We make AI servers in India. So my question is, if we want to import overseas equipment, does SIDBI finance overseas equipment, and how do we go about something like that?
Yes, SIDBI certainly funds the import of the equipments also. Apart from the export of your export bills also, that is not an issue. So as far as the import of bills is concerned, there is no restrictions of SIDBI to fund that. We can certainly approach us. We will be happy to help you in this matter.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions from any of the audience? Mahesh.
Sir, my name is Tanmay Reddy. The question is
Sorry?
my name is Tanmay Reddy. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm basically into granite mining. But this question is regarding CGTSME. Most of the banks, they say they will provide loans under CGTSME, but when we go and approach, they are not doing it, even though we are eligible and we have a good CIBIL rating. Why is this issue happening, and would any of the banks over here provide loans for an industry under CGTSME?
You're looking for a term loan or a working capital loan?
Actually, both. Anything. Yeah.
Yeah. Generally, CGTMS loan, that is a facility available for the people who are not having that collateral security. We will always suggest to the people that if collaterals are available, give the collateral security and take the loan. Because when we are taking the CGTMSE, then you have to pay the commission or otherwise processing charge to the trust, because trust give the guarantee on behalf of the trust to the bank, and you have to pay extra charges for that one and extra processing charge. Even rate of interest also a little bit high than the regular financing. So if people, they are not having any collateral security, definitely we are looking what are the areas actually they are dealing with, what are the generally what will happen. No, if term loan, every banker will comfortably come forward to give the CGTMSE, because your asset will be created, that's the prime security will be alternatively there. When we are covering under that CGTMSE, we should not take any guarantee, personal guarantee of the third party, or otherwise we have not take any other securities like any other thing. So what will happen? No, banker will get the comfortability for financing the term loan under CGTMSE, because when what we are giving the finance, it's going and it's creating an asset. So that will be an asset, fixed asset, where that our prime security, that is tangible and it will be visible. So generally they will look towards that one, or otherwise also working capital we are not telling, we are not giving. but we are also giving that one. Even hybrid model also, you are having half collateral security. It's not sufficient for that one. Even we are half security we are taking and half part of the loan we are covering under CGTMSE. What it is called as hybrid mode. Even we are extending now. Recently, government has extended that one from 5 crores to 10 crores. That also we are extending. We are fully hand holding the people. If there is anybody is required, you come to me. Then we will see what we have to do.
Now you can interact with them one-on-one. Maybe you can approach them with your issues. So as we are coming close to the end of the program, I would like to ask all of you what specific products you have with respect to renewable energy, electric vehicles. That is one. We can individually speak. In addition to that, if there are any other closing remarks you have, you can mention. You can start from the end.
Yeah, as far as renewable energy concerned, we are completely aligned with the Government of India's target for 500 gigawatt by 2030, out of which 280 gigawatt for particularly for solar. So SIDBI has come up with an idea that why not to lighten up the industries which are having that unused areas like the rooftops. So that is the base area, and we are the one of the initiator in the finance sector who has come up with the funding for the solar scheme, solar rooftop captive solar plants. So that is the one thing that apart from that, this is aligned with the policies of the respective state governments, which is allowing the net metering also. That is a good benefit to reduce your energy cost. That will be handy to get your cost of production reduced. So that is the best part of solar funding. Apart from that, we also do encourage the open access like solar parks, and also we do RESCOs and ESCOs model also we do fund. So best part of the solar product of the SIDBI is that we also extend one MSC gift scheme is there, under which we up to 2 crores of solar rooftop solar we extend 2% interest subvention. That is also extended to those medium size or small size rooftop solar rooftop plants having a project cost of rupees 200 lakhs. So under that scheme also SIDBI doesn't require any additional collateral securities. We take your promoter's contribution as a cash collateral and we go ahead with the 100% funding, which in turn reduces your cost of fund and cost of funding. Apart from that, giving the subsidy also. So that is the best product we are offering right now for solar products.
So you're saying you're funding the rooftop solar for domestic?
Not domestic, we are being MSMEs.
I know, I mean, you started about with the domestic solar, and you are also you're not into domestic, you are financing MSMEs with rooftop as well as open access, purchase of power from others.
Yes, open
so
access.
Is there any limits for open access?
No, there is no limit.
For rooftop, it is 2 crores.
No. 2 crore. There is no such limit for funding of rooftop solar. But if the project size is up to 2 crores, there is a 2% interest subvention scheme is there. Like small entrepreneurs are there who will get benefit from that. So like big entrepreneurs, they will be getting ahead with the solar rooftop farms of 15 crores, 10 crores, 2 megawatt, 3 megawatt project. Somebody is having like 300 kilowatt of project or 200 kilowatt of project. In that case, we do extend a interest subvention scheme.
Got it. Any your this product for renewable energy, does it differ from any other regular banks? Being a SIDBI, gift 2% interest subvention is one thing. Other than that, is there any particular differentiator you have? One is your 25% deposit is there. Is there any particular thing that you want to convey about SIDBI?
See, that is not a deposit because we being all banking panelists are there. Everybody knows that when you approach a banker, there is one part is being handled by promoters and the rest part is handled by the banks. So basically, this is nothing but the promoter's contribution. Your part is being taken as a additional collateral that is being treated as a collateral security as far as SIDBI is concerned, and we go ahead with the 100% funding and we don't require additional collateral securities. Yeah. So in thereby also you reduce your loan costs. Forget about these subsidies and all. If you calculate reverse calculation in absolute terms, your actual interest go in the 4, 5 years or 7 years, whatever terms is there, the interest outgo will be come down and your rate of interest, effective rate of interest will be getting down by your own funding only.
Right. Thank you. Rohit.
Yeah, so basically at Kotak, we are at strong in terms of invoice discounting, and second thing is about CGTMSE facility. So here, like what will happen? There are 2-3 things which we usually look at in terms of CGTMSE funding. One thing in terms of the vintage of a company and the revenue and profit model of the company. Here in this case, like whenever most of the startups or few firms will not have a vintage of 3 years or so. So in that cases, we do have this drop line OD proposition. Even if any company is having a 2 years of tenure with 1 year bank statement also, we do funding up to 1 crore in the form of drop line OD. So this is something which is over and above CGTMSE facility that we give across at Kotak.
Thank you, Rohit. That's very interesting to know about up to 1 crore. Okay. Yeah, please.
Yes, sir. It's particularly from my Union Bank of India. The Union Solar one separate scheme is there where we will finance.
Union Solar.
Yeah. We finance for rooftop solar scheme, and even pump sets for farmers where they want that solar pump sets they wanted to establish. That also we are doing. Even for the existing industrialists where their captive consumption purpose ke liye, whenever they wanted to use that solar power for their cost reduction, of course, for the reduction of the electricity bill. Nowadays everybody wants to establish their solar on their rooftops or otherwise that factory roof. So we are also funding for that one. It's like a specific project funding type of loan where that what is the amount required and what is the margin contribution and what is the loan from the bank. It's like a general term loan only. Or otherwise, even each and every bank, they are having their own targets from the government, and at head office level they have already set a target for that one. This year this much renewable energy finance to be done by that particular bank. And yes, accordingly each and every bank will go forward with that one. We will get a message from the central office that this is the priority area from the government and this is the megawatt energy we have to finance. So you explore the possibility in that particular area. Then accordingly we will canvas the proposals, and we are placing the proposals for sanctioning, and we try to achieve our targets whatever given by the government, and we are pushing towards that growth of that particular sector as a country as a whole, because we are spread across the country. So from all the areas we will give the proposals, accordingly they will sanction. Even we corporates also, we are financed a lot of solar units. So we are supporting for the solar financing, sir.
Thank you. Nadu.
Sir, basically on solar, we started last year on solar. We did our good in west and north. This year we have started in south as well. We have a specific team. Like collateral, earlier we were saying, now we are saying collateral with other documentation where the collateral is not to a full extent. We got different banking surrogates to do that. So we've started funding, and I'm sure I see a lot of solar companies here. So we will definitely get in touch with them with better product, better pricing for them. So that's all for us, sir, on the solar side.
Thank you so much. Thank you, panelists, and we had a very wonderful session and very good insights about your products for MSMEs. Very interesting to know that CGTMS programs are also there here, but as an entrepreneur as well as a Federation of Telangana Chambers, we request you to go to market to campaign about your programs. You can use FTCC as a platform to reach to the industries, because many industries are not aware of many of the programs. Even if the programs are there in terms of documentation, in terms of somewhere there's a gap for people to approach. Personally, we could reach out to advise a few people with some banks, some loans we have taken, but in general, a lot of awareness is not available, particularly related to startups, particularly related to companies with 1 to 2 years vintage, and those who are wanting to take loans without collateral. There's a lot of gap in understanding, and we see a lot of documentation and tedious work in terms of getting a loan sanction. So we request that now we reach more outreach programs by reaching to industries. That's one. And thank you so much for your insights. And would like to say a closing remark that financing is just not products, but it's a question of inclusiveness, innovation, and intent by the banks. Now that central government, as you're saying, has put a targets to all the banks, that's very interesting to note that you have a target to reach out to a specific sector like renewable energy and EV electric vehicles. Thank you so much. Thanks for your inputs.